Hey team, Karita here again. This is not a healing, this is more of a channeled message. It's something that came through about a week ago and I keep forgetting to film it. So my guides basically told me that sometime between now and the end of 2022, 3 formerly dormant stargates are going to be coming online. Definitely 2, that seems to suggest there's option of a 3rd one coming online. Now I'm going to try and edit some images in over me talking here to show you roughly where they are. But in case I can't, the areas they were kind of showing me is kind of the southern, central areas of Northern America, as in the continent. So kind of like from Dallas down to kind of Mexico, somewhere, Mexico City, sort of that sort of area. And then there would be another section somewhere in the kind of the northern half of the South American continent. So they will show me just these huge areas. So somewhere in there apparently is like a dormant stargate, which is going to be coming back online. Now the 3rd area was kind of somewhere between Libya to Ukraine, basically. There's kind of like an arc area. There's kind of in the Mediterranean, lower Europe, Northern Africa region. What the impression I got was the reason they're telling me this is because anyone who can astral travel will be able to start using these stargates. So for anyone out there who can do it, I'm not really sure if I can do it just off the top of my hat. You know, I know I have done it, but it's certainly not a skill that I'm super experienced in. Yeah, so if you can astral travel consciously and like really be in control of it, might be something to have a bit of fun with once you start noticing, these coming online. And for the rest of us who were not kind of consciously aware of whether we can or can't do it, we may find that we're going to have some really bizarre dreams coming up before the end of the year. And I think that's just going to be because we're astral traveling without even knowing it, and we might just have it coming through as bizarre dreams. Now, I was asking them, so like, how am I going to know if this is true or not? Because, you know, who knows what timeline we're in. And I must preface this too, take this with a grain of salt. You know, just because I get stuff through doesn't necessarily mean it's definitely going to happen. Even the stuff that comes through really definitely for me, I'm always kind of got a bit of grain of salt around. It's like, okay, well, I'll believe it when I see it. I need some indicators to, show me what I can look out for. And then it's a case of, well, am I even in that timeline that it will manifest in? Because from what I understand, there are actually a lot of timelines converging at the moment. It's a little bit of a case of all the balls are up in the air. So, this may show up in some of your timelines, and for a whole pile of other people, they won't even know anything about it, which, I think that's just kind of the journey that we're all on right now with so much intense energetics going on. So, but the thing that they were saying was that we will see evidence of this because there'll be parts of these regions in the world that are relatively quiet, like that aren't usually in the media, but suddenly there's going to be a lot of media attention there in some way. Not that the media is going to be reporting, "Oh, stargates have become active." They're not going to, know that, but it's just going to be kind of like there's going to be a lot of attention or activity in places that haven't usually gotten much attention or activity. I wouldn't be surprised if, a bit of military movement potentially in some of these areas where in the past there's like been nothing. I just don't know. I just get a sense of suddenly there's going to be a lot of people congregating in these areas, or like some sort of maybe like a small country town somewhere in this huge region that they showed me. Could be, some tiny country town that normally has a population of 50, for example, and suddenly you're going to have thousands of people just flocking to this place for some weird reason. But in the media, you might just see it as being promoted as maybe, there's a convoy of whatever's moving through here, or, the military have moved in to establish a new base, or whatever it is. Who knows how it's going to play out. But basically, in places that aren't currently seeing much action, there is going to be a lot of action. So yeah, it should be interesting days ahead for those of us who can astral travel and kind of are aware that we are doing it and are in some sort of control over it. I'd love to know if sometime between now and the end of the year, if you happen to live in these parts of the world, so like northern half of South America and southern part of North America, and somewhere in the kind of Mediterranean area, if you notice places that are normally kind of not on the radar of anybody's kind of radar, suddenly get a bit of media attention. And it may be just very localized news as well that, you know, the rest of the world probably doesn't even hear about. So you might find that something's happening in Mexico that we here in Australia will never know about it, but you guys maybe in the Southern American states might hear about it more so than what I ever will. So yeah, so I thought I'd just share that with you. So 3 stargates that have been dormant are going to be coming back online, and those of us who can astral travel will be able to start using them. So yeah, interesting days ahead. I personally feel that the flow-on effect of, if these stargates do come online, the energetic shift that will happen in these parts of the world is going to be massive, and that in itself will have a huge flow-on effect to the rest of the world. But I guess only time will tell. For all I know, you know, I'm sitting in a timeline where I won't see or experience any of this. So, and you may very well be as well. So who knows? Take it with a grain of salt. That's all I can say. All right. Love you guys. Bye.